It is here. We finally freaking have our long-awaited Ahsoka trailer. I'm gonna be completely honest. I totally forgot that this was like coming up. In typical fashion, they saved the trailer for that sweet spot right up as everybody is just angsting for it, waiting for it. They have certainly built the hype and anticipation. The hype is real, but honestly, I totally forgot that this was even going to be coming out because I have to just like push the trailers like and my anticipation for them onto the back burner of my brain and just wait until it is a pleasant surprise. And that's exactly what happened today. This is it. Whew. Catch your breath, catch your breath. Ahsoka official trailer, Disney Plus. Dropped 2 hours ago. Let's freaking do this.
War is inevitable. One must destroy in order to create. We are no Jedi.
Oh, rest in peace, Ray Stevenson.
I started hearing whispers of Thrawn's return as heir to the Empire.
What happens when we find Thrawn?
Power, such as you've never dreamed.
Oh
I've spent most of my life fighting a war. That's why I'm trying to convince you to help me prevent another one. You and I both know who could help you with this.
She's still just as stubborn as ever.
I bet your master
no
found you
fault.
difficult at times.
Anakin never got to finish my training. I walked away from him, just like I walked away from Sabine.
You never made things easy for me, Master.
She's training Sabine.
As a Jedi, sometimes you have to make the decision no one else can. But I'm counting on you to see this through.
The haircuts.
Nice haircut. Sometimes we have to do what's right, regardless of our personal feelings.
Buckle up.
If we don't stop Thrawn, everything will be in vain. You have no power.
Anakin spoke highly of you.
I'm not here to discuss my past.
We have a lot of work to do.
Once a rebel, always a rebel.
Two-episode premiere? No effing way. No effing way. Oh. No effing way, no freaking way. Whoever had the genius idea to start doing these 2-3 episode premiere releases, Kenobi first 2 episodes dropped together, and our first 3 episodes dropped together, now Ahsoka, we're getting another 2 episode premiere. What did we do to deserve this? I don't know, I don't care. I'm not gonna question it, because I effing love it. The hype, oh my gosh, it takes the hype from this to this, knowing you're getting 2 double. Can we just talk? The Anakin name drops. What the flip? They did not have to do that. They did not have to do that. And I really hope that that is not just a little bit of bait. If there is one thing I can say with certainty, full-chested certainty about Star Wars fans, it's if you give us a little bit of bait, we will freaking snatch onto that. Like catnip. I hope it's not just for like a fan service drop to generate hype. In the trailer, of course, name dropping Anakin Skywalker multiple times. What the frick? And we now know Ray Stevenson's character. So it's so tragic. His role seems so absolutely amazing in this show, and now I'm even more curious knowing that he clearly knew Anakin somehow, some way, unless he's just messing with Ahsoka. I don't know. But to also open with that electric line, we are no Jedi, like frick. The hype surrounding these new antagonists. I mean, I'm reluctant to even call them antagonists just because they're not necessarily Jedi. It doesn't inherently mean that they're bad, but they're obviously Team Thrawn, so curious. They seem to be are proving to be an extremely dynamic part of this show that I'm very curious about their morals, where they stand. So that's one thing that I'm already actually super stoked about for this show. Obviously, you have the big bad, supposedly, which is going to be Thrawn. Amazing seeing amazing seeing Lars Mikkelsen full face in this trailer versus we just got, the little back of his head snippet in the previous teaser. So this was glorious to see him in all of his Thrawn-esque glory. So obviously we already have Thrawn. If you've seen Rebels, you know him, you love him. The hype is already there for him. You don't need any more hype for him. He's Thrawn. However, I applaud them for already being able to generate this much interest. And I mean, I'm curious about who these new antagonists are, and I'm actually really excited and interested about them. Obviously because they're wielding sabers, but perhaps if they are ex-Jedi, that inherently I'm a sucker for that type of storyline, those types of characters. They're always just so dynamic and interesting, and for Ahsoka especially, she herself claiming, to no longer be a member of the Jedi Order, that would be a really intriguing counterpart to her, ex-Jedi versus more morally corrupt ex-Jedi. Like, there's gonna be something personal there for Ahsoka. Obviously, that Anakin name drops. I really, 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 really hope that that's not just a ploy, because obviously general audience, everyone recognizes Anakin Skywalker. Yes, anybody who's watching this is gonna know who that is, despite maybe not knowing anybody else in this show, because I'll give it to them. This show, I'm very curious to see what the turnout, the audience, the viewership is going to be like, because this show is definitely very dependent on if you've watched the side shows, if you've watched Clone Wars, of course, the birth of Ahsoka Tano's character, her origins. So naturally, of course, I think the audience for this series is going to be a little bit different because it's clearly targeted to people who have watched those shows. And I'm not some sort of like elitist Star Wars fan who thinks that you're only a true fan if you've watched the side shows, the animated series. I'm not about that mentality. So that said, I am curious and really hoping that the Anakin name drop weren't just sprinkled in there to garner interest from the general audience that maybe hasn't seen those side series, those side shows. There has to be a reason that they name dropped him not just once, but twice. I mean, obviously it's inherent, it's implied. Anakin is a massive part of Ahsoka's backstory, but even in Mandalorian, they kind of danced around it. And in Book of Boba Fett, they were on the press, they were on the cusp. They were on the cusp, like mentioning allusions to Anakin, so close to an Anakin name drop in all of her former appearances, yet they've always withheld it. She's never outright said his name. The fact that now we're going from that to she's name dropping him twice in this trailer, I mean, I hope that's indicative of, I'm not saying we need to see a Hayden Christensen cameo. I'm so excited. There's so much more to this show, obviously, than just that, and I love that it's clearly following the women of Rebels and the mystery of Ezra, and were those live-action Purgle that I saw in there? I totally need to rewatch this, but I'm so freaking excited for all of the Rebels elements that are going to be in this show, because rewatching Rebels leading up to this, I think it's, dare I say, I know that this is a divisive comment, but I think Rebels for me might take the cake over Clone Wars in some aspects. I think that show and these characters specifically, and the ways now that they have been transformed, Ahsoka training Sabine, the ways that this is going to tie in just Rebels Season 4, I'm so excited. And I love that this filled in a little bit of gaps, this trailer, to give us something. And I've got to say, I'm also just really, really, really so freaking excited to see live action Lothal. It looks already so good and reminiscent of Rebels here in these trailers, the teasers. We got a little bit more of a glimpse of it in this full-length trailer here. I'm loving this, and of course Ahsoka is an amazing character in her own right. Lack of closure there with Anakin, like that obviously still weighs on her, the fact that she left and then the ensuing downfall. I hope that they explore more some of the mental and emotional repercussions that has had. They tapped into it a little bit in Rebels, that she seemingly has maybe this sense of self-imposed guilt about Anakin and his fate and everything that went down the drain after she pieced out. So I hope, really, really, really hope that they explore that more for her and at least get her some closure. If there's one thing I think Ahsoka Tano's storyline needs, it's that closure, especially if this new antagonist here, Ray Stevenson's character, what's his name? Baylan, yes, I believe his name is Baylan. If he is taunting her with her former master's name and the prospect of him knowing Anakin Skywalker, there's unfinished closure for her. So I really, really just can't wait to see them explore that personally for Ahsoka, but there's so many other moving pieces here. Hera, Mon Mothma, Sabine's got her own stuff going on, the mysteries with Ezra and Thrawn, all these new antagonists now. This trailer to me is saying, like, yes, this show is titled Ahsoka, but similarly to Andor, I think this is going in a similar direction. Yes, the series is titled Andor, but it's about so many other people aside from him and how they all intertwine. I think Ahsoka is going in a similar direction here, but just with characters that have been established that we already know and are familiar with, along with others, new antagonists, new characters. So I think that might be the element of the show that I'm most looking forward to, and I hope that this trailer here is accurately depicting what the vibe is going to be, that it's going to follow many different storylines, many different character arcs, similarly to Andor, because as you guys know, and as I expressed during my Andor reactions and reviews, that's my favorite type of just storytelling, and with Star Wars particularly, I don't like when it focuses necessarily on just one hero. I love when it branches off and shows everybody's stories intertwined and how everybody is hustling and working together and everybody has their own trials and tribulations, which this trailer definitely focused on. Everybody's in like a dark place. It's already on us, folks. It's already almost halfway through July. Flip. Time is flying, but that is a good thing when Star Wars is in the future, the very near future. Thank you guys so freaking much for watching, and let me know what you guys think about this. I'm just so giddy. I'm so freaking excited for this show. I'm gonna go rewatch. Let me know what you guys think of this trailer. May the force be with you guys always. Extra special thank you to our members. You guys are amazing. I appreciate you guys so much. Love you guys. Thank you so much. And I will see you all again very soon. Bye guys.